storm it, win it. So that's what you watching. Remember what I said. This is Pee Wee from the big town.
You're watching Storm It, Win It.
Storm it, win it.
You're watching Storm It, Win It.
Storm it, win it. Storm it, win it.
You're watching Storm It, Win It.
You're watching Storm it, win it.
You're watching Storm It, Win It. You're watching Storm It, Win It.
Okay, we're here with Gary Neal at Seneca Lodge, right by the Seneca Lake, upstate New York. Spent the whole day with Gary, training and getting some inputs from him. What do you think about this day?
It was a good day. It was a long day. Your technique and everything is good. You just got some things to work out on the back end, which I think we went over today most of the day. I didn't see any other need to go any other direction.
Okay.
Than what we did.
I feel better now. We changed the anchor point, the angle of it, which seems to work better. Seems to make the shot smoother. What other points do you think I should work on in the coming weeks?
You need to keep working on that. It takes 28 days for that to take place. The other thing is your mental game. So the process of getting the shot set up, getting into position, telling yourself what type of shot you want to do. I would definitely focus on the target more than I would the pin.
Okay, talking about that change that takes basically 28 days, we spoke about this before. Basically that every time you make a big change, it takes 28 days for you to train that muscle, the memory, to get out of where it was and get used to a new thing.
Yes.
So how important that is to keep working for that 28 days on the same thing, or even if you don't see results or you feel that it's not working, should you just keep working on that, or should you try to change your game again?
No, you should keep working on that, because you're going to get shots like you had today. Some just went off nice and smooth, some didn't. That's that. It's working, it's not working, it's working. So you just got to get used to that. But in 28 days, you're going to call me back up and go, it's perfect. So learning a new process. We don't have muscle memory.
Perfect.
Yeah. We don't have muscle memory. We have hardwiring, which is what we're trying to do in the back of your brain. So if you got up and shot your bow right now and I told you to put it back in the other position, you'd be like, wow, this is really weird and wrong.
Okay.
So the 28 days is my suggestion is 28 days, 3 times a week.
Well, I shoot more than that, so hopefully it's going to be faster. Maybe I can break the record within 28 days. Yeah. Talking about different topic, basically my journey coming at my position, my age. No, I'm not a pro shooter, but I want to be a pro shooter. There is approximately 6 months until the Lancaster Classic, the next one, which is my target to shoot the first time in the pro division. What do you think of my chances to do any good there?
You got 6 months, you're going to be fine.
Gonna be fine.
You're going to be fine. Do I think you have the potential to win? I don't. It depends on the peer pressure that goes through. But I think as far as a competitor, you're gonna be fine. I don't think you're going to be at the bottom of the pile. Right now, if I had to put you in a classification, you would be semi-pro. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that next step is more mental than it is physical or technique. You know, we only changed one technique on you. Well, we changed an anchor point, we changed a flat position of the wrist. That's not going to make or break you in the pro level. What's going to make or break you in the pro level is whether or not you can keep your melon involved. So everything we went over today, which was all mental training as well as technique. So if you just keep your focus on each shot, each arrow has a purpose, you're going to be fine.
For our viewers, what's the ratio, the balance between the physical game to the mental game? Where do you think it should be? What you need to work more on or put the emphasis on? The
mental game is huge. So if I ask all my archers, and we even asked the cameraman here, Henry, how much of this game is mental?
For me, I think it's kind of even. I'm not sure that's
50-50. Okay, so it ends up being 80 to 90% mental. Once you have a technique and form down, it's repeatable. So now the only thing that has to be repeated is your brain. Your brain has to be able to handle the pressure, not worry about what Joe Bag of Donuts is doing next to you. You've got to focus on your shot, your timing, when to let down. This is a good shot. It's not a great shot, so I got to set it down. So your level of shot process at Lancaster has to be 90% or higher, or you're not going to hit the Baby X. And you know you've been there. If you don't hit the Baby X, you can go home. Because you got to shoot a whole bunch of those.
In the next days, weeks to come, so I got to work on my mental game. I got to work on the change that we made today in my anchor, the angle of my hand, to keep it there. Other than that, we spoke about practicing. I don't know if the target panic is the thing, but practicing on stability of the pin on the target and to go there. We spoke about dry aiming, we can call it, I guess. So you just pull the ball, you aim until you start shaking, you get there, you let down. You pull, you aim, you let down. How many of those should a person do to pick up his game?
Somebody for you for the next 6 months, I would do it 45 arrows at a time.
How many times a week?
Twice.
Twice a week.
Minimum twice a week.
Okay. For our beginners, viewers, just to understand, what we're talking about is target panic is when you are shaking on the target, the pin is moving around the target, and your brain just go shoot, 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 shoot every time it passes over the bullseye. And part of the way to fix that is by training yourself to get a better steady shot. So your hand is, instead of shaking, it's just moving slowly. Nobody can stop the movement completely, but you make it slower, and that's the purpose of it, to train yourself physically and mentally to do that, to stay relaxed even though it gets harder, and to be able to hold the shot.
Yeah, it allows you to aim in the center better. Now, if somebody has full-blown target panic, that's all they do for the next 2 to 3 weeks along with blank bail. They don't even shoot another arrow. What you have is just you're trying to force yourself to sit steadier. So whenever you force a shot, it's not going to be good. You've got to learn just to aim in the center a little bit longer and trust that the shot's going to follow its path and it's going to execute when the pin is in the center. But if we spend the time back, like today, we spent a lot of time at 50 and 70 meters, big magnification, small pin, a lot of movement. So what I noticed was that was interfering with your shot process. So it was taking your process from 5 seconds to 12 seconds to 8 seconds to 3 seconds. So your shot timing and everything gets mixed up, and that's from the pin. The pin dictates how smooth the shot's going to be. So for your case, 2 to 3 days a week of aiming drills, which is just going to build confidence in what you're doing.
So I have a lot of work to do. And hopefully we'll meet in a few weeks. Again, we'll see how the schedule between both of us gonna run, and if we can schedule it. This is a beautiful place. I would love to come back over here.
Yeah, it's nice over
Absolutely, especially in summertime.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice. So we're gonna do that. Until then, I can just thank you for all the work, and let's keep it up.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Good
very
luck.
much.